John.
Oh, you here? Where you go?
Nowhere in particular. Start the car. We have to leave quickly.
Quickly? What have happened? You have ended in trouble again?
Enough questions. Get ready to leave. I have to get something from the yard, and then we'll go.
I don't like this. You go to port without girl, and now girl in my cab.
It's not your cab.
Oh, always looking at detail. Anyway, it's not normal find girl at port. At port, they're fish, boat, homeless people, not girl.
At the port, you find whatever is left behind. Until now, I found a dead body and a kid. Maybe someone else was luckier.
You need go to police. I don't want to be accused of kidnapping because of you.
Forget the police and drive.
Ah, pointless talking to you.
I've heard that before, but people keep trying.
And you still not tell me where we going.
Someone is looking for this girl, and it looks like they would do anything to get her. Taking her to my house would be stupid. You only need half a brain and a telephone book to figure out where I live. Hence, I need a safe place. John, you wait here and watch the girl.
Now I be babysitter?
Right. It'll be good experience for when you have kids.
I already have kids, but they far away.
You left them in China?
No, Detroit. They have Chinese restaurant.
Whatever. Let's forget about it. Just take care of the girl.
Imádom ezt a csont. Na, igen, Grétához kell akkor elhoznunk a kislányt.
Greta's place is closed.
Hát pedig...
Greta! Greta's place is closed.
Akkor még egyszer erősebben, Jack.
Damnation! Greta! Answer me!
Who is this?
Greta, it's Jack.
Jack? Do you know what time it is?
I know, Greta, but I need your help.
You can't make up your mind on what brand of whiskey to get drunk on?
It's got nothing to do with booze. Open up.
First, tell me why you're at the door to my place in the middle of the night.
Open up and I'll tell you.
I have no intention of opening this door unless you give me a good reason to do so. What was that?
The reason why I'm here.
But that's a kid's voice. What trouble are you in?
Let me in and I'll tell you the whole story. While I'm explaining the whole thing, Greta helps me with my busted lip. That ape at the port almost ripped off my whole jaw. I tell her about Sean, the girl, and why I came here. After some convincing, she agrees to take care of the girl. When she's done cleaning me up, she takes the girl upstairs and is kind enough to leave a bottle of whiskey on the table. Ignoring the fact that my cut lip might reopen, I down a few glasses. I need to relax, and nothing relaxes me like a good whiskey.
Come on. Wake up. We need to get on board. Right. We have a boat to catch.
Nos. Hát igazából nem tudom elmagyarázni nektek, hogy ezt igazából minek véljük, de fogalmazzunk úgy, hogy ez egy ilyen visszatekintés. Tehát láthattátok az órát is, hogy most visszafele pörgött, és most nem Jackkel vagyunk, hanem Seannal vagyunk. És itt most le tudjuk játszani a jelenetet, hogy gyakorlatilag mi is történt Seannal, amikor kijöttek ide a kikötőbe.
Is this where you're bored?
Son, didn't anyone ever tell you to say hello before you start asking questions?
I'm in a hurry.
Yeah, you kids today are always in a hurry. You're always running around and only doing things halfway. Things take time, otherwise you just end up with a bunch of crap.
I'll keep that in mind, but I need to get on board urgently.
Son, I don't know what brought you and that little girl here, but this isn't a tourist port. Only sailors and fishermen leave from here, and you don't seem to be either. If you really need a ship, you can go to Riverside. There, with a couple of bucks, you'll find dozens of well-dressed sailors who will be more than happy to ferry you around the East River and tell you all the juicy details about the city.
I'm not a tourist and I need to leave from here. Now.
The only way for you to leave from here is as a sailor. No nautical documents, no access.
Pedig muszáj kihajóznunk, mivel élet-halál kérdése az egész.
I have to board. It's a matter of life and death.
I'm sorry, but like I already said, without documents, I can't let anyone leave from here.
Akkor... Ezt még egyszer próbáljuk?
I have to board.
I'm sorry.
Ja igen, dokumentumok nélkül. Akkor felejts el.
Forget about it.
Whatever.
Tehát mindenképpen ugye kellenek dokumentumok. De szerencsére Sean erre már gondolt. Ugye van nála egy pisztoly, nála van ugye a pénz, nála van ugye a viszkije. Saint Marie.
Saint Marie. That's the only thing I can read on this napkin. I can't make out the rest.
Ez a hajónak a neve. És illetve hát ugye az első neve, de ugye alatta még van valami, amit ugye ő se tud elolvasni. Akkor... Itt vannak a dokumentumok.
John Ford. Born in Portland, 1898. I'd better remember this. It will be my identity for a long time.
Na igen, ezekre van szükségünk. Vagy hát Seannek erre volt szüksége. Ezeket kell most odaadnunk.
Here are my papers.
So your name is John Ford.
Right. A case of homonymy.
What ship do you need to board, John Ford?
Saint Marine. Hát ugye arra, amelyik nem sokára indul, nem emlékszem a nevére. Ezt ugye csak akkor tudjuk meg ezt a Saint Marine-t, hogyha ugye megnézzük azt a pappirkát.
The Saint Marie. Saint Marie something. I don't remember the whole name.
The Sainte Marie de la Mer. I know that you aren't a sailor or a fisherman, but at least try to study your part better for the next time, son.
There won't be a next time.
One last thing. The girl's boarding documents are in order, but her name isn't on them. Is she your daughter?
Yes, she's my daughter.
What's her name?
Emily. Emily Ford.
Okay, the documents are in order. The Sainte Marie de la Mer will dock in a few hours.
Thanks.
Good luck, son. You'll need it.
Right.
Jack. Jack. Jack.
Oof.
It seems like my bar is making you sleepy lately.
It was just a few seconds of fatigue.
You were saying a name during your moment of fatigue.
What name?
You were talking about an Emily. Who's that?
No, it's no one. I just had a bad dream. Speaking of which, did you take care of the girl?
Yes. She's sleeping peacefully in my room now. Maybe you better go to bed too. You're dead on your feet.
I can't leave the girl here and go away.
Calm down. I'll take the opportunity to clean the joint a little. Oh, you should also tell me what do I have to do with your new friend.
Who?
The Chinese cab driver?
Ah, Sean. I almost forgot about him. I'm not crazy about the idea that he might be going around telling half the world that he found a girl at the port. It's not like you could...
Keep him here?
I know I'm asking you a lot, Greta.
Don't worry. I'll keep him here until he wakes up. But you owe me a favor.
As soon as this thing's over, I'll buy you dinner at one of those clubs on the Upper East Side that you like so much.
Sure. Anyway, get out of here before you fall asleep on my bar again.
Milyen kedvesen ki lettünk rúgva. Milyen kedvesen, hát igazából mondjuk azt, hogy milyen kedvesen haza lettünk küldve, igen. Hogy takarodjunk haza aludni, ne itt aludjunk. Röviden, tömören. Jó, Csom még akkor itt van elvileg, sőt gyakorlatilag is. Akkor szépen hazamegyünk. Ezt megpróbálunk allukálni egy picit. Ho-ho, hát ki van itt?
Good evening, De Niro.
Hi, Slavansky.
I guess you got my letter.
Yes, thanks for your kindness.
Okay, so you know I'm not joking. And I heard about your mishaps tonight. It was definitely a bad night for you.
Where'd you get this information from?
I always know everything about my renters. I like to know what people who live in my apartment are up to.
Right. No vested interest there.
Exactly, De Niro. If you want to avoid any unfortunate problems, I suggest you pay me that back rent you owe me. I wouldn't want anyone call police tonight and tell them some bad things about you or your habits.
Are you threatening me?
Absolutely not. But to be safe, you could pay me what you owe me.
I already told you that I'll pay you next week.
Heard that old story too many times, De Niro. I want my money now.
Damn Russian skinflint.
Hát igen. Gyakorlatilag most szerencsénk van azzal, hogy Sean-tól elvettük ezt a sok pénzt, mert így ki tudjuk fizetni Slovanskit. Kicsit morbid, de igen.
Here's your money.
Okay, De Niro. This way we can get back to our pleasant owner-renter relationship, huh?
Keep the money, and your pleasant relationship.
Anyway, I want to show you my loyalty to renters. I find out about your misadventures from police detective.
A police detective?
Da, one Ballard. He woke me up in middle of night to ask about you. And when he found you one year, he asked to see your apartment.
Did you let him in?
Of course. I don't have any intention of upsetting police to protect a renter who always pays late like you, Del Niro.
Jaj, tehát akkor jött egy rendőrnyomozó.
Tell me about this police detective.
What do you want to know?
Gyakorlatilag mindent? Miféle a fickó?
What kind of guy was he?
He introduced himself as Detective Ballard of State Police. He was pretty tall, had dark skin, was well dressed. He spoke kind of funny, seemed like a foreigner.
Mit csinált, amikor bement a lakásomba?
What did he do when he went into my apartment?
I don't know. He wanted to go in alone, but he was quick. He seemed unhappy when he left.
Dannazione. Malone is trying to frame me. Who knows what that guy was hoping to find in my apartment?
Valószínű, lehetséges.
I'm not interested in anything else.
Good.
Miért nem működik a fűtés?
Why isn't the heat working?
Problems with boiler. It doesn't want to turn on.
Did you call a technician?
Nah, technicians are good for nothing and want much money. Boiler is solid. A few adjustments, it'll be like new.
Until it breaks down again next month.
Na viszlát, Slovanski.
Goodbye, Slavansky.
Goodbye, Del Niro.
Hát jó, akkor nézzük meg a lakásunkat. Szerencsére Jack most már tudja, hogy hol van a lámpa, és most már alapjáraton fel tudja ezt kapcsolni. Hát, ránézésre semmi nem történt, semmi kutakodás nem volt, úgyhogy gyakorlatilag aludhatunk egy picintét.
A few hours of sleep should get me back in shape.
While Emily is asleep in the cabin, I sneak for a smoke on the deck of the boat. We'll be off to Canada soon, leaving New York, Professor Zindler, and this whole mess behind us. We made it. We're safe, I think. But the barrel of a gun between me shoulder blades makes me think otherwise. It's the Turk. He found us. With a sleight of hand worthy of a surgeon, he slides his hand over me holster, puts on the safety, and takes me gun. He pushes the gun into me back and starts talking with that horrible accent of his. He's talking about something, but I'm not listening. I'm too focused on finding a way to get out of this situation. But I can't think of anything. If I make one false move, the Turk will pump my gut full of lead. All of a sudden, fortune smiles on me. A big wave hits the boat, sending it rocking. The Turk loses his balance. A fraction of a second, and I'm on him. His gun lets off a shot. I ignore it. I don't have time to figure out what it hit. I gather all my strength and head for the hold. The Turk falls like a sack of bricks. That should keep him in line for a little while. Grabbing Emily, I get off the boat. They know where I am, and I have to hurry up and run away. I don't have much time. I have to find a place to hide Emily. If the Turk got to me, it won't take the others long to get here too.
Na igen, most akkor megint visszatértünk kicsit a múltba. Seanhoz. És akkor ugye most le kell játszanunk azt a jelenetet, amikor elrejti a kicsi Emilit. Ez a török majd később majd ugye vissza fog térni. Játék során. És akkor jöjjünk ide.
The door is locked with a padlock, but it's been partly corroded by salt. If I could find something to use as a lever, I could break it. The door's locked with a padlock.
Jó, akkor most kell megfeszítenünk a
These
zárat.
wooden crates seem to contain toys, at least judging by the logo on them. I can't hide Emily in these crates.
Nem is akarom én oda elrejteni. Akkor nézzük, mi van nálunk. Mivel lehetne megfeszíteni? Ó, nem! Oké, rájöttem. Nem. Rájöttem, hogy hogyan kell csinálni. Igen. Ugye ezt le kell tépnünk. Erőteljesen. Úgyni.
I was able to get a part of the plate off.
És akkor így lett véres, most már akkor tudjuk. Amikor magunkhoz vettük.
By using that piece of metal as a lever, I should be able to break the padlock. One good hit and the lock breaks without any problems. I try to get Emily to enter the shipyard, but she's afraid. I put one of my darts around her neck and I tell her we're playing a game. I'll count to 30, she has to hide, and I'll come looking for her. I'll whistle every now and then with my horn, and she has to do the same when she hears it. I tell her to never come out of her hiding spot because I have to find her. If she hides well, I'll give her a toy all for herself. Emily heads for the shipyard. From her eyes, I can see she didn't buy the story about the game, but she knows she needs to do it. The kid's on the ball. The hole in my lungs was getting worse and worse. It's starting to get hard to even breathe. With my last bit of energy, I head towards the entrance. I get to the outside telephone near the harbor master's office and I call the police. Their intervention won't help much, but at least it will put a lot of people on guard and that will put the brakes on the Turk's friends. Then I call the last person I ever thought could help me, Jack. I cover the telephone with a handkerchief so he doesn't recognize my voice. If he knew it was me, he'd never come. The telephone starts ringing and someone picks up on the other end. It's Jack answering. I make up the first lie that comes into my head to get him here. Halfway through the telephone call, the lines dropped. They cut the electricity in the telephone lines. They're here. I did everything I could, but now all that's left is to wait for the end. And I certainly don't want to do it here. If I have to die, I want to do so somewhere decent with the sound of the waves in my ears and the sight of the moon slashing through the rainy sky. Yes, it's a good place for a goodbye.
Hát akármit mond, ez brutálisan jó volt. Ez egy nagyon jó, szép kis monológ volt.
Dannazione! I keep having these dreams, if you can call them dreams. They're so real. The port, the girl, Sean, and then that hitman, that Turk. It all seems to match. How is that possible? How can a dream be so real? How can a dream explain things I don't know? Maybe I better knock it off with the questions and get up. I must have slept a couple of hours. That's more than enough for a hardened insomniac like me. Come on, Jack. The night's still young, and there are people out there who would love to see you dead. And maybe one of them is the guy who last night was pretending to be Inspector Ballard. I'd better ask Slavonsky a few more questions.